What's up YouTube, Del here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you an update to Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now this is technically can be considered as a pure version of the deck, but the main focus of this deck is to utilize and show you how Kaiba the legend fits into the deck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the list, explain what we've got, what we've changed, what's different, what you can change yourself depending on what else you might have for it. So very simply, with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. So starting off with the Blue Eyes themselves. In this version, we are playing free. Now the reason you're going to be playing free Blue Eyes in this particular version is because that's what Kaiba needs. So Kaiba needs you to reveal free Blue Eyes from the hand, deck, or graveyard. Now, it's a little bit disappointing. I'm just going to jump ahead to show you Kaiba itself. So if it is normal or special, you show free Blue Eyes White Dragons from the hand, deck, face up from the field and or graveyard, to then special summon a Blue Eyes from the hand, deck, or grave. So if your opponent banishes any Blue Eyes, well, Kaiba is completely useless. Then on top of that is if you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, specifically while this card is in the graveyard, except during damage state, you get to banish it to then add a Blue Eyes monster. Why can't it just add a Blue Eyes card? Come on, give a little. Anyway, I'm not saying that this is the best way to be playing the deck, but this is one of the ones that if you have Kaiba and you want to play it, this is how you're going to do it. Now this can open up some avenues for some different routes of play. What this really does kind of do is I've kind of focused on actually normal summoning the Kaiba because you can't really get it back from the graveyard as easily as you might want to. And honestly, Master is better than Kaiba. You'd probably just be better off playing Master. But this is what I wanted to do, is I wanted to highlight the use of Kaiba, what the build would look like and what you would change. The Blue Eyes monster you're probably going to want to go to 99.99999% of the time is going to be your Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. Now, of course, you can go for Blue Eyes Chaos Max if you wanted to. You can go for Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, any other type of Blue Eyes monster, even alternative. That really comes down to what you want to aim for. Then for standard on the Blue Eyes lineup, free Sage. Now Sage can get you into your Kaiba, which is what you're going to be looking to do. Is when it's normal summon, you add a level 1 light tuner monster from the deck to the hand except itself. So that's going to be the benefit of being able to get to your Kaiba. Then we are playing free Maiden of White. Now the biggest issue is 99.999% of the time your Sage wants to search out Maiden. If it doesn't search out Maiden, your next possible and best search would be something like an Effect Veiler. In this version, you're going to be going for Kaiba as you want Kaiba to be your additional normal summon, which is why you can't really utilize this particular build with another engine. So you can't really use it with Primites, you can't really use it with Invoke because you want your first normal summon to be Sage, or of course your Kaiba and then your second one to be Sage or Kaiba. So that's kind of where you want to flip-flop between. The other benefit if you do go down the Primite route, however, because you are playing free Blue Eyes, is technically you can use Primite Fusion to get you into your Dragon Master Magia. Then for the continuing off of the Blue Eyes spell cards, we've got 3 Wishes for Eyes of Blue, backed up by 1 Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragon, 1 Mausoleum, Majesty, and of course True Light. Now this is a grand total of 20 cards. That then means the remaining 20 cards can be whatever you want it to be. Now, if you want to make this build or this deck as competitive you possibly can, those 20 cards are going to need to be either field breakers, hand traps, or pretty much anything else that's going to allow you to compete, which is exactly what I've gone for. I've gone with not exactly 20 hand traps, like 16 hand traps, which is not nice, but that's kind of what you want to be looking at. Everything else that I'm about to show you from this point on until we get to the extra deck can be adapted. You can go down the route of the Kaiser Seahorse, and if you go down the route of the Kaiser Seahorse, you might want to consider playing Master as well, and that's when you can kind of bend the deck into being more nearly 100% pure, which is why this isn't titled a pure Blue Eyes, it's just titled Blue Eyes featuring Kaiba. As I mentioned many a times, it's just to show you what you might want to do with a Kaiba build. There is no benefit, in my opinion, at playing Kaiba at more than 1 because you can search it. Playing it at free just gives you a little less reliance on needing to be searched, but that's really all you're going to get from it. With that being said, let me show you the hand traps of choice for this format. So, pretty standard on this lineup for free Ash Blossom, free Draw and Lockbird, free Molchommy Fluoros. You can play 6 Molchommies if you want to, and you have access to it. You're very easily put in Perulia. I've then gone with a choice of 2 Ghost Ogre, the 1 Effect Veiler because it is very easily searchable, and then 3 Dominus Purge and 3 Infinite Impermanence. Now to me, when the game gets this heavy on hand traps, it's kind of gone a little bit out of control. But because you are not playing an additional engine that will provide you with more field presence, will provide you with more consistency, or just ways to interact and bait out your opponent, you need to have cards like this that you can fall back on to disrupt your opponent where at all possible. The last 4 cards are going to be power cards in the form of Prosperity, Crossout Designator, Call by the Grave, and Talents. And again, you could sacrifice Pot Prosperity should you wish to, and that's when you can start opening up the door to some other elements. Or of course, you sacrifice the Pot Prosperity, change out the Ghost Ogres, that's free Nibiru's. You can go for free Perulias, that's where you get your flexibility. So that's it for the entire main deck profile. Like I said, if you want to make this more pure, then that's where I'd be saying you'd look at adding Priestess in, you'd add in Blue Eyes Chaos Max, you'd work down to the route of Dragon Master Magia, you'd also add Master to the main deck, so that becomes a better summon or a search than the Kaiba Man, and kind of work it down that route. Moving on to the extra deck, we are playing 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now the one thing that Kaiba Man will provide you with is Kaiba Man will provide you with a little bit more consistency, because it basically sums itself and then gets you another access to a Blue Eyes, is it makes access to your level 9 synchros a lot quicker and easier. So if you wanted to, you could very easily play 3 Spirit Dragons. I still feel that 2 is more than enough, and the reason I've gone with 2 is it allows me to open up the options for playing a level 12 synchro package. And again, if you want to keep this pure and you wanted to put in your Kaiser Seahorse, that will make that access a little bit more consistent, and you could probably open up the door to play more level 12 synchros as well. 1 Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, backed up by 1 Ancient Fairy Life Dragon, Life Storm Dragon. Your Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, again, can become a level 12 synchro should you choose to. Backed up by the 1 Crimson Dragon, and of course the 1 Stardust Surf Divine Dragon. So you can kind of see where we've got more synchro orientated access on this one, but remember your Spirit Dragons are only really going to be summoning 2 of these, so it's more so about having those variable options. So if you're going first and you really want to shut the game down, you can go into a Crimson Dragon, into a Divine Dragon, and of course a Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. If you want to deal with spells and traps, you deal with Lightning Storm Dragon. If you want to return a card, you go to Black Rose Moon. You've just got loads of different options to build off the back of it. Then for the generic cards as well, we've got the 1 Typhon and the 1 SP Little Knight. And then, of course, the remaining of your Blue Eyes Dragon-esque cards, being able to play 1 Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate, 1 Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. The other factor of this as well, by playing 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, is through Primite Fusion or even Blue Eyes Ultimate Fusion, you can get to Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So if you want to go more down a pure route of this deck and literally say, I don't want to be playing nearly 20 hand traps, I just want to play pure Blue Eyes for fun, that's when you start looking at Blue Eyes Ultimate Fusion. You're using 3 Blue Eyes already. You can start looking at Blue Eyes Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. It kind of gives you a bit more flexibility depending on where you want to take it. And then the final 3 cards is 2 Spirit with Eyes of Blue and the 1 Hieratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. Pretty straightforward. If you don't have access to Dominus Purge, I would highly advise taking them out for 3 Bestials, 1 being Magnemute, Druid Swarm, and Bulldrake, just because I think they are really, really good this format, and the only reason they're not in the main deck is because they will eventually clash with Purge. But if you don't have Purge, then that is your very easy substitute, if you do have access to those as well. So that's pretty much it for the entire profile. Like I said at the start of the video, the idea of this is just to show you what a build with Kaiba Man involves, and it literally is just the first 20 cards that I showed you of this list, and then the extra deck. From that point on, the remaining 20 cards really does come down to preference and what you have access to. Keep in mind that we got Ash Blossoms, Imperms, and Drolls in the structure deck. So if you were just buying a Kaiba Man and you wanted to add it into the build and then adapt it a little bit later on, the remaining cards of the remaining 11-ish hand traps can then become pretty much anything you want. So that's it for the entire profile. If you do have any questions at all, by all means, please put them in the comments down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. For now, as absolutely always, stay safe and, of course, happy dueling.